Ellie and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. It's going to be on this look right here. It's a look that I tend to wear on a night out. I've just made it a little bit more muted, if that makes sense, just to make the video a little bit shorter. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, it helps me out a lot. Subscribe if you want to see more of me, and I will see you in my next video. Hi again. Right, so I've already prepped my eyes with my soft ochre paint pot from MAC, and I've also set that with my Laura Mercier translucent powder, and on top as a transition shade I have used Makeup Geek's Beaches and Cream. So once I've done that, I'm just using a very precise pencil brush to go through my crease with this shade Wild West from Makeup Geek. This is a really nice warm brown shade, and it's going to really deepen up the crease because I have really bad hooded eyes or eyelids, which means that it makes it a little bit more difficult to make my eyeshadow pop a little bit more, if that makes sense. So we're just going to be creating a crease right here, which you can see, and we're just going to make sure that's really nice and evenly blended out. Keep going in with the Beaches and Cream to really give that really nice gradient towards the eyebrow bone, you know. And now we're going to be deepening up the crease with Makeup Geek's Bitten. This is a really nice plummy deep red shade, and it's my favourite colour to put through my crease. It's also one of the only Makeup Geek or any eyeshadows I've ever owned that I've ever touched pan. So that shows how much I really like it. We are going to keep this on the outer corner of our eyelids just to make sure that it, you know, because I've got quite almond shaped eyes, I want to make them look a bit more rounded because I don't want my eyelashes to overpower them. So we're just going to focus that more on the outside and just really buff it in, and then also going in with the Beaches and Cream by Makeup Geek to make sure that we've got a more of a gradient effect towards the eyebrow. And now from here we're going to go back in with that Wild West shade that we had earlier that we put through our crease, and we're just going to keep this on the outer side. This is going to be the darkest shade that we're going to have on the lid, because from the inner corner lid we're going to have like a nice gold into a champagne, like, you know, we're going to have that gradient from inner corner to outer corner. So you want to make sure you're packing this on really, really heavy, because we want it to be dark, we want it to be dramatic, and we want it to also show up in club photos as well, which is what I like. So we're just going to keep on doing that. After that we're going to go on with a teeny tiny little precise brush, and we're going to use Toffee from the Holy Grail palette from Violet Voss. So we're going to pack that on, make sure that we're getting as much product as we can onto the eyelid, because that's what we want. We want it to be dramatic, we want it to be fun. And then from then, we're then going to go into the same palette. We're also going to use Awesome Sauce, which is this really nice pinky champagne-y colour, which is what we're going to have in the middle. So we're going to gradient from Toffee to Awesome Sauce to Wild West. Now we're going to take some eyelash curlers. These are some old ones that I borrowed from Mum. Thanks, Mum. From Clinique. We're just going to be curling those lashes ready for fake lashes, which I can't wait to go into. I've had such a mare with. I'm using the Roller Lash by Benefit. I did my eyelashes off camera just because I got so angry with how big the band was. Like, I'm so used to having a small band on my eyelashes, and they're so lightweight. Like, I've got them on now whilst I'm editing, and they are so heavy. Like, so heavy, I just cannot even deal. And they look nice, but they're so heavy, and I want comfort. I want to be comfortable when I'm wearing my makeup, and especially my eyelashes. So now you can see I've had a bit of a mare with my Sheer Glow foundation by NARS. I think my pump's gone funny. I don't really understand what's going on because I had so much product in there anyway. So I'm now going in with a buffer brush. This is a Real Techniques one, just because my Real Technique beauty blender was so disgusting. Like, I need to get a new one, but just because I've had it for so long, and I tried washing it to try and maintain and save it, but it just ain't working. So I've opted for this, just for this video, and I like using it when I've got my foundation on that I don't use when I'm tanning, and I fake tanned before this video, just for this video. So I always have to do my ears just because of how pale I am normally, and I remember I took a selfie once and I had pale ears and it just didn't look good, you know? So then this is just a really, really old beauty blender that I bought from Amazon, I think. I bought like a pack of like 3 just because I desperately needed some. They're quite hard, I don't recommend them, but you know, you've got to work with what you've got, you know? So from here, I'm just going to conceal and brighten my under eye. This is the Naked Skin Concealer from Urban Decay. I actually don't understand why it looks like I'm putting so much concealer on, because I literally put like the smallest amount because I want to save it. And on camera, it looks like I put a shitload on, which is weird. But I've only got a little bit on, I promise. Like, I don't cake on my concealer because it creases all the time under my eye. So please let me know if you know of any concealers that don't crease under your eye, because I've got wrinkly under eyes and I need saving. So then I'm going in with that same damp beauty blender. I decided to put some Fix Plus on it just to make it a little bit more damp because it did dry under all the lights I had under me. So from then I'm just going to be blending it all out, making sure everything is all blended and all looks flawless. So what I like to do, I just like to comb through my brows just because they do get knocked out of place when I am applying foundation and concealer. So I'm just brushing through my brows to make sure they're all nice and cute. Now I like to set my face. This is something that I don't tend to do as much now it's getting hotter, because I do like having like more glowy and dewy skin, but especially during the winter, and because I have to wear like a thick moisturiser, I do have to put powder on the top to make sure I don't look like an oily mess. So what I tend to normally use is my Laura Mercier. As you can probably see, I am running low, so I need to get a new one. But I only tend to do this in the areas that I applied foundation, and I like to put my RCMA No Colour Powder under my eyes. But for some reason I decided not to do it, which is so bizarre to me because we are doing a going out makeup look, which I would normally do this on we'll just pretend that we've done it, okay? So normally I would bake underneath my eyes with my RCMA No Colour Powder to make sure I had that bright under eye. And now we're going to bronze / contour with our Mineralized Skin Finish by MAC in the shade Cheeky Bronze. Something that I've been doing recently is I either do one or the other. I tend to contour with a bronzy shade just because I quite like my cheeks to be quite warm. So it depends. For a night out, I tend to just stick to the more warmer tones, whereas if I'm going to work or I'm doing like a less glam makeup look, I tend to then contour with cooler shades. Now again, with that same mineralized skin finish from MAC, we're just going to be contouring our nose. I tend to not go as heavy on my nose just because I feel like I don't really need it. It's only really towards the end that I like it more defined. From then, I just like to bring that bronzer just underneath my lip, or my bottom lip, just to make it a bit more bigger. And then just down the sides of my neck, just to make sure that everything is nice and blended and isn't too cakey, because we don't want a cakey look. We want a flawless, more gradient look, which is what we're going for. And now for my absolute favourite part of doing my makeup is highlighting. I'm using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Glow Kit in Sun Dipped, and I'm using the shade Summer. This personally for me with a tan is my most favourite highlight ever. Like, honestly, I get so excited when I do this part. Like to me, it finishes off the whole makeup look. Sometimes I go a bit overboard. I say sometimes, like every single time I go out, I am slapping that on. Like, it baffles me how I haven't even touched pan yet. Like, it actually baffles me. I've had it since Christmas and I've used it literally every single day. Even when I go to work, I'm like, bam. I want to glow. I want to make sure that I'm glowing. And especially with a tan, I just feel so amazing. Normally I tend to do it on my shoulders and my collarbones, but for today's video I decided not to because I'm trying to save it. Due to the pure fact that I actually get it everywhere. Like, I don't understand how. I get it all over my t-shirt. I get it all over my legs. I always have to make sure that I'm wearing something that shows my legs because my legs glow with my face. So after this, I'm just going to go in with my Roller Lash Mascara from Benefit on my bottom lashes. I don't know why it's always been the last step of my makeup routine. Just because, I don't know, I don't want it to get all over my face. And shock, look, you can see the disappointment in my face now. I get it on my nose. Like, it's very rare that I get it on my nose. But, of course, the day where it actually matters, when I'm filming, it gets on my nose. But it's alright because you scrape that shit off and we forget about it. And then we're all done. Now for the final touches, I'm just spraying my face with the All Nighter Setting Spray by Urban Decay, and I've done something with my hair. And this is the finished look. I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!